All right, if you're Coach Bill Zadig, now is a very stressful time for you because you've got, for the men's freestyle, this is different, right? This is an Olympic year. At the World Championships, everyone gets to go. All 10 weights, no matter what, you get to go. All you have to do is participate at Pan Ams and you're automatically in. So for all intents and purposes, we're in at Worlds every single year. There's no qualification, really. But the Olympics, it's really, really tough. It's tough to qualify. And there's 2 weights in men's freestyle. We are not qualified. 57 kilograms and 65, the first 2 Olympic weights. And so you're wondering, okay, how do we qualify those weights? If you don't know, you've got the Pan Am Olympic Games qualifier in February, and then you've got the Last Chance qualifier over in Europe. Okay, that one in Europe is a bloodbath. It is insanely tough. It's all the best non-qualified nations are there. It's really, really hard to qualify. For example, last Olympics, Jordan Oliver made it all the way, and he had to win one more match, and he lost to a multiple world medalist, I believe a world silver medalist in the match to qualify for the Olympics. That's how tough this tournament is. And the year before, or the Olympics before that, Frank Molinaro went, and he, even though he ended up getting into the Olympics, he did not qualify outright. He was losing matches. So that's a really tough tournament. That's what I'm trying to illustrate. So a lot of focus goes to the Pan Am Olympic Games qualifier in Mexico in February. So who's going to be there? Well, 57, it's interesting. And I think it sort of demonstrates something I was kind of talking about months ago after Zane Richards made the team, is this weight has a lot of guys that are not really 57s, that are gutting it out because they can't go up to 65 because they're way too small for that. Ideally, there's 61, 60 kilogram guys, but that's not an Olympic weight. So you got to go down to 125.5 pounds. And so Zane Richards could have been challenged for the Pan Am Olympic qualifier spot. Okay? It was not a guarantee that he was going to go. So there were 3 guys that could have challenged him. Thomas Gilman, Dayton Fix, and Vito Araujo. And think how important this qualification, I mean, this is, and for all 3 of those guys, they are fully planning on being on that Olympic team. And this is your best opportunity to guarantee that Team USA is represented at that weight class in the Olympic Games. And all 3 of those guys declined to go. So it's all on Zane. And you know, he's been our most consistent guy. He's deserved to go. He's the only one that wanted to go. So, okay, what stands in his way? Well, that's a good question. The one name that has Team USA and fans of USA Wrestling nervous is a guy we know really well, Roman Bravo Young. Roman has transferred to wrestle. He's going to be representing Mexico moving forward for his senior level wrestling career. So now he's trying to make the Olympics at 57. He's in the same boat as us at Team USA. He's got to qualify either in Pan Ams or he's got to qualify at Last Chance. So the way that works, if you make the finals, that's it. You're in. No match. There's no true second, nothing like that. They wrestle the semis, and then those 2 are in. So you've got to make the finals. These are seeded. They seed the top 4, but that can be tricky because someone like Roman, for example, is not going to have a lot of rankings points, so he could be dropped in anywhere. We could wrestle Roman round 1, right? And if Roman beats Zane, we're not qualified at Pan Am Olympic qualifier. So it's a little concerning, right? Because everyone knows the caliber of Roman. The question is the weight. Can he make the weight? Can he make the weight effectively? Those are things we have not yet got to see. We haven't seen him wrestle this light in a really, really long time. You'd have to go back to high school. This guy was a career 33-pounder. Now he's cutting down to 125.5. And it's going to be tough. So we're going to be waiting to see if we qualify at 57. Then for 65, well, there's a little more work to be done to figure out who's going because Yanni Diakomahalis is challenging Nick Lee for the spot. So there's going to be a wrestle-off very soon for that spot. And whoever wins that will go to Pan Ams. Now, it looks, knock on wood, this maybe is a little less treacherous, but we don't know who Cuba is going to be sending, right? We don't know who they're sending at 57 either. That still remains to be seen. And they're going to wrestle the Cerro Pelado. That's like Cuba's kind of national tournament. And the theory is the winners of that tournament will be the ones that represent at the Pan Am Olympic Games qualifier. But Cuba's always a scary country, and there's other tough wrestlers. And nobody was talking about Destrabats of Argentina in 2020, right? Well, who is that? That's the guy that Zane Rutherford was beating soundly, but he pinned Zane. And so he got to go to the Olympics, and then when Jordan Oliver didn't win at the last chance, we didn't get to go at 65 kilograms. So no one was talking about Destrobats, and there's very likely going to be some sort of a landmine in there. Yeah, Austin Gomez, prime example. I mean, that's someone who's beaten a lot of really good guys. He's beaten Yanni in folk style, but it's still, that's a potential landmine there. So that's a big thing y'all need to focus on in February 20th through 24th in Acapulco, Mexico. Us getting these weights qualified for the Olympics, because it's far from a guarantee.